Hello again. This is another quick film camera vlog. I said in my last vlog on the shore that I had some film photography camera reviews coming up. Well, not really reviews, because we're talking about old cameras which have been around for a long time, so they've been well reviewed and dissected in every detail, but it's basically my own personal impressions of the camera, and it's one I've never had. It's been around forever. The Polaroid Land Camera, which is you could say an American icon. It's a classic of the genre, in its field. This is one of the more basic cameras aimed at a mass market, but this is plastic lens, very basic focusing, etc. I'll get it on the table in a minute and show you how it works. But they also made some quite sophisticated models with much more refined focusing, self-timers, ground glass lens, just aimed at obviously a more professional photographer. They came out in 1948, the Land Camera, and they ran through till 1983. Obviously millions were produced, and they were extremely popular in the era that they were at their zenith, you could say, which would be the 60s, 70s would be the heyday, I would think, of Polaroids, all Polaroids, the different styles, the different types of film that they used. Land camera, by the way, it's nothing to do with, it's not a sort of trendy name like a sky camera or the earth camera. The Land Camera is named after Edwin Land, the designer, who came up with the concept and the design. So that's where the name came from. But it's quite a cool name, isn't it? The Land Camera. So this one, I bought it as usual on eBay. It was untested. I did test it. It does work. There's a problem which I'm going to come to in a minute. Not a problem with the camera, which is perfect and it's in really good condition. I mean, it looks like it's hardly been used. It's absolutely immaculate. If you look at the rollers inside, it's really in excellent condition, which is a shame, because the pack film aspect is rather a problem. Polaroid, the company, went bust in 2008. They were overtaken by the digital revolution, and even though they tried to get on board the digital revolution and produce some digital cameras themselves, they folded. They folded in 2008. There were still millions of these cameras out there. And a few years ago, I think it was 13, a Dutch company called Impossible Project bought the rights, bought the equipment to make Polaroid film. And in a similar vein to the way the Lomography Corporation of Austria bought out the Soviet Lomography LCA brand camera, and now produce them, well, not just the LCA, but a whole range of Lomo cameras are now made by the corporation, mostly in China. But this is a similar thing. So the Polaroid, the American company, are now a Dutch company. They're now making cameras again. They're now making film. But the problem is they're not making film for this camera. Now, this was a different type of film that you might see. The Fuji Instax cameras, for example, or the Polaroid Super Swingers, where you take a shot and the film spits out. This was a pack film. Unlike the Polaroid and the Fujis, which I just say they spit the film out, this was a peeler film. And the problem with film for this camera, well, have a look here. Yeah, it became obsolete. Polaroid obviously stopped making it. Fuji made film for it for a while, a pack film, stopped making it in 2016, and now you can't get film for it. You can only buy expensive, very, very, very expensive expired film, And unless you're very rich and you want to pay 50, 60, 70 pounds for 10 shots, you're screwed really. But how did it work in comparison with with what I call the spit it out film, the pack film, the peeler film, I should say. So how did the peeler film work? Well, let this young lady from Portland, USA, explain. Take it away, Myles.
So you pull out this little tab first, and then this is the picture here. You really gotta grab as far down as you can, because sometimes you can like rip off the tab and then you're doomed. So.
Doomed?
Well, yeah. Getting ready to see what happens for the double exposure.
So, I hope if you're watching this, Myles, you don't mind me hijacking a bit of your footage from your excellent land camera review. Yeah, but the film, very expensive, but it was a peeler film, and they just can't make it anymore. So my hope, and I suppose the hope of millions of people who have these cameras, is that the Impossible Project or somebody else will start making it again, because the demand's there. I did see a Kickstarter thing about somebody was making single shot peeler film. There was a website somewhere, and to be honest, it didn't look particularly impressive. He'd taken a couple of shots with the film that he developed, and it wasn't particularly good. It was like the early Impossible Project film, which was a bit washed out. But hopefully somebody sometime will make pack film. So until then, basically I've got a working camera that's not going to that I can't use, which is a bit daft, but I didn't pay a lot of money for it, so it's not the end of the world. So I'll get it on the table and show you close up. Yeah, basically this is it. The Polaroid, this is the 320, it's quite a basic version. That flips out. Press that up, pull it off. You can see the instructions are absolutely perfect. It looks like they haven't been read. I mean, I'd wonder if this camera's being used actually. There are other bits and pieces. That's a cold clip for developing the film in cold weather, well, not for aiding development, because obviously temperature is important when you're developing film. To push out the bellows, like just press that up. Focusing basically is dead simple. That's to frame the view, or the shot they're taking, and that's the focus. And to focus, it's very simple. Basically, that just slides. You can see that's portrait, group, and there's a mountain on that one, so that's landscape. So basically that's all it is to it. As you can see, the bellows going in and out. Right, the back battery flips open. These batteries are apparently obsolete now, so you're going to need, this is a 3 volt, some of them are 4.5 volt, something like that. It's just a battery holder. This is not the one that I've tested it with, but you need just a couple for this 3 volt. These are 1.5 volts each. You just need a couple of them, an appropriate battery holder. I've just tested it, but need to take the gubbins out really to fit the holder in. Dead easy. There are loads of YouTube videos about converting Polaroid Land cameras to AA. That shuts like so. To feed the film, to feed the film, underneath there's a lever. Pull that and the back will open, and that's where the film goes. It slots in there. They're the rollers, and the film tag will appear through there. As I say, they're not making these at the moment, so that's the big downer of these cameras at the moment. So we're praying that somebody starts making film for them again. Yeah, to take a shot, basically, it won't work without battery. Cock the shutter and fire. That's all there is to it, really. To close, just press that down. Press and push. And that clips in. So doing everything upside down is a bit awkward. When you're not facing it. There you go. It's quite a big lump, isn't it? But that is the Polaroid Land camera.